뱀파이어 기름 발라야겠다. 넌 졌어.
You want to stay where you are. Regenerate.
I know you're in trouble. I can help.
I'll help myself.
No, he's my friend.
뭐지?
Yes, Geralt, it's me.
누구야?
Regis? You alright?
All is well. All's in order. Wounds such as these heal on vampires in moments. But we've not seen one another in ages, my friend. At least in human terms, that is.
How's this even possible? Last I saw you...
I was a bubbling, shapeless smear, having been rather spectacularly melted into a column of a certain castle. In somewhat better shape now, as you can see. Hardly peak form, mind you, but were I human, folk would think me a demigod, I dare say.
I'm sorry. What happened? It was my fault. Never got a chance to apologize.
No need, Geralt. Bygones. I did not have to join you on that expedition. No one could... My arm.
Miraculous regeneration. How do you manage it?
I had help. From the one you hunt.
Him? How? And what have you been doing all these years?
Not the time nor place for such stories. I suspect we'll get a chance to speak at ease and at length later. Now, however, we must deal with the reason that brought us both here.
Local serial killer seems to obey you. Maybe you could talk him out of it, convince him to stop murdering.
Why do you think I've come? It shall not be easy, as Dettlaff can be rather stubborn, though you must certainly recall that neither do I surrender readily.
So that's his name. He's your friend?
You might call it that. Though Dettlaff is... how would you humans put it? More bestial than I am. But not to worry. I'm working on him.
Haven't exactly done a great job with that. He's killed one knight since I got here, at least 3 others before I arrived.
For good reason, I'm sure. Understand, Dettlaff is not some decadent shit who kills for sport, or to assuage a dryness of throat or a dullness of mood.
Seem pretty damn sure of that.
I am, because I know him very well. Despite appearances to the contrary, you two are quite alike. You've both noble hearts, yet you both are wont to perform ignoble deeds. When circumstances force you to, of course. Remember the year 964?
That was 3 centuries ago.
Blind fear gripped Rivia, Lyria, and Spala. Women and children were dying. Their mutilated, dismembered corpses littered the fields.
Brute of Lyria. Read about it. Chewed up almost 200, then fell to a common poacher supposedly armed with a dagger blessed by some prophet.
It fell to Dettlaff, who then found a poacher asleep in the brush near his snares and dropped the fiend's corpse at his feet. And thus, a legend was born.
이유가 있다는 걸.
Awfully good of him. But do I need to know this?
Yes. So you'll understand Dettlaff is no cold-blooded killer. I believe he's landed in some mess and he sees no way out.
What makes you say that?
Vilgefortz melted my body. Dettlaff found what was left. As per our codex, he had a choice. To leave me where I was, or to care for me and nurture my remains.
돌봤으니까 이렇게 했겠지.
He chose the latter. Regenerated me at no small expense in his own blood. Do you know what that means to a vampire? The gravity of the endeavor?
Probably same thing it means to a human. You owe him your life.
그건 알겠는데
Much more
왜
than
저러냐는 거지.
The act itself made us blood brethren. A bond so strong humans cannot even imagine. Which is why I know something ill is afoot.
Always had an overdeveloped sense of empathy.
Each vampire has a unique talent. One they hone over centuries. It's precisely what renders us so difficult to classify. Dettlaff's trump card is his herd instinct.
잘
His
살고
tribal
있는
propensity.
뱀파이어들을
In point of
사냥했나?
fact, he prefers the company of lesser vampires and shuns that of humans. If he walks among you, killing egregiously,
뭐 소중한
only mean
사람을
something's upsetting.
죽였다는지 사냥을
Immensely.
당했다는지 이런 건가?
Anything specific? Some set of things that'd be likely to set him off?
How should I say this? Dettlaff doesn't understand men, their world, its rules, its conventions. He's naive in a sense. He doesn't comprehend your games, knows not what it means to lie, deceive.
Suggesting he's maladjusted and venting his rage.
I'm suggesting maladjustment can at times breed conflict. But is it the case this time? I cannot say, but intend to find out.
Gotta find him before something upsets him even more and all Beauclair is awash with blood.
Well, we share a cause then, just like the old days.
Not entirely. I mean, when I find him, you know.
I know you've a contract on his head. Yet your true task is to stop the beast killing, not necessarily to kill the beast, am I right?
그렇긴
All in
한데.
all, sure.
Let us find him. By the time we do, I hope I'll have convinced you Dettlaff is no monster.
Fine, all right already. But for now, evidence is stacking up against him.
Hear that?
The posse, Knights must have tracked me here.
I'd prefer they not find me here. I've makeshift quarters at Mère Lachaise Long Cemetery. We'll meet there.
See you.
나도 저거 갖고 싶다. 쩐다 쩔어. 근데 이 새끼 뭔가 걘
Witcher,
빨간색 같은데?
we flew here as fast as our courses would carry us. Yet I fear we're late all the same. Pray, where is the beast?
Still
도망갔다.
investigating. About to inspect this site. Withdraw your men before they trample all over the evidence.
Sirs, we must let the Witcher do his work.
죽었군. 걔.
Milton's murder cannot go unavenged.
조사할 건 없는 건가?
We must allow the Witcher to ply his trade.
뭐야? 의뢰 보상을 지급하는 공국 공무원? 이런 것도 있어. 뭐야, 나 여기까지 왔어? 되게 멀리 왔네? 뭐야 이거? 뭐야? 일단 찾아야겠다. 표지판. 이건 뭐지 근데?
Don't crowd around.
Sir! Sir! A letter for you, sir!
Letter? Who from?
Can't rightly say, sir. I was just to deliver it.
Here. And thanks.
No, sir. Thank you. And I truly hope I'll be of service again.
바이바이. 고생했다.
Dearest.
I suspect weighty affairs, rather than merely the wine festival, have drawn you to Toussaint. Perhaps
목소리.
you'll find time to
설마.
probe a certain matter in spite of this. I recently came across the mention of one Professor Moreau, a scholar in Beauclair, who conducted research into Witcher mutations.
게임판이?
Though the details are rather murky, as is the location of the scholar's laboratory, his journal could contain more information. It lies buried with him in his tomb. I enclose a map I found in the book I happened upon. Though less than completely legible, I trust it will prove useful nonetheless. I felt this matter could prove of some importance to you, thus I dispatched this letter without delay. Whatever you decide, please take exceedingly good care of yourself. Your Yen.
여기선
A
조심해야
professor
되나?
who studied Witcher mutations. Might actually be worth looking into.
설마 DLC인데 얘네 영향력이 여기까지 오겠어? 설마. 에이 설마. 무섭다. 씨, 이렇게 오니까. 뭐야?
Don't dare to think you've got carte blanche here.
I buy, I sell, I barter. Gadzooks! I do everything but scratch your...
부금이 나오네? 표지판 어딨어?
This is Beauclair, not some
술집 가서 카드 한 판 해야 되는데.
Wipe your boots before you take an...
What?
Oh, I'm just jesting. You...
I know your business.
매물이네. 그거 있어야 된다 그러면 있다. 오케이. 굿. 응? 에이, 좋은 거 안 나왔다. 엥? 불사. 오이구야. 무셔무셔. 나이스. 잘 가시고요. 빵.
Did you care, sir? Our sweet shining sun.
Where bellies are pinched so tight, folk don't drink wine, distilling instead potion from tree bark. I stock the larder of the Duchessa herself.
표지판을 찾아야 되는데
Attentions to the Vantages. Parade about the
표지판 한 입구 쪽. 아닌데 저걸 일단 찍으러 가자. 아 여기가 아니잖아. 응?
Vive la fête!
연금 줄 특별한 거 있으려나? 계세요. 향수?
Whoa!
뭐야 이 사람도 괜트 있네?
Show me what you've got.
도련변이? 지금은 모르는 거네. 뭐야 이거? 괜트 한판 하자.
In the mood for a rap?
오 마이 갓 이거 뭐야? 똥. 아 망했어. 하나도 안 뜨네. 그걸 뽑았다. 이겼네.
Nice tune.
Well, wine.
표지판 도대체 어딨는 거야?
It's on display. Still
Lox a la vie. Might be worth looking into.
아 뭐야, 아무것도 없잖아. 에헤. 입구 쪽겠지.
Around here, it's wine, wine, and more
Margaret.
wine. But me, I
Wow.
prefer blood. Best cure for the beast, a witcher.
Disperse! The exhibition of the Red Sea Aubrey Monument will remain closed until further notice.
Closed? Why, he wrote
아래구나.
to see it. You were ever
카드 내놔.
Show me.
안 파네. 술집이네 여기.
Care for a round of.
아, 돈 못 늘렸다. 저 맞을래는. 갖고 싶다. 어우, 뭐야 이거. 에이, 이거 다 태워불러 이게 돼버리네. 한 번 더 해볼까? 두 개밖에 안 남았는데. 끝이네. 바이바이. 별거 없잖아. 응? 뭐야? 어디서 나온 거야 저거?
My prices are the best this side of the Yaruga.
내 말 좀 있다.
Disperse! The exhibition of the Reginald Dobry monument will remain closed until further notice.
Closed? Why, we wrote an...
Oh, Richard. Whatever.
Don't crowd around.
표시 알겠다. 자. 오씨 뭐야. 표지판 또 뽑아야지.
Go, go.
뭐야 이거. 여기 있나? 없네. 표지판을 웃네. 있네. 있을 것 같았는데. 방금 뭐가 나왔는데? 저랑
Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
똑똑똑.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here.
저 동굴로 가야 되는 건가?
Fiddles aplenty around here. Kiki more eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash. That's some stench. Decaying bones. Kikimores must have tunneled into the grave.
여기가 아닌가 입구가? 여긴 뭔데?
Nahalani's eye. Ought to use it. Interesting.
카수스 포드. 전투 중 무기 에너지가 충전된다. 에이 뭐야, 필요 없는 거잖아. 잘 쓸게요. 칼 이름도 이리스로 놨네.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
손.
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both higher vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy of Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
만들자.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
그러게 말이다. 어떻게 왜? 와, 아직도 움직여. 지 혼자 나가는 거 아니야? 기어서? 손가락으로?
was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned, him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher
아니야,
would.
나도 귀찮아.
All due respect
알아서
to your
해주길
skills,
바래.
my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless. So, perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
마시자. 마시고 자자.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
비밀만이지.
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
맞아. 피를
Got a new life,
어떻게
new
살아?
body.
그냥
That give you a
평범하게
new start, blank
사람처럼
slate.
사는 건가?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand or move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far
왜
slower.
그러는 거지? 무슨 이유 때문에?
Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash.
벨기에 불이
What of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
찾았지.
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt
와일드한테하고
together.
시리 얘기할 정도면 엄청 지나가네.
Seems I certainly missed quite a bit
1편에서
while I
나왔나
was
2편에서 나왔나.
absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now.
1편부터 시리 얘기가 나왔던가?
All right. Give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
그럴 것 같아. 재밌어. 그쵸.
See, Regis.
고통스러운데 재밌어.
Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a
사실
beast.
위쳐가 되고 싶지
Even gotten used to
않다면은
people treating me like a freak, an outcast.
여행 접고 어디서 그냥
Yeah,
밭
not something I think about
갈면서
much. But I like being a witcher.
조용히 혼자서
Thank you for being
살았겠지.
honest. Honesty is an attribute of the
내가
truly
못났는데.
brave. and thus a privilege of the very few.
여자친구 하나 데리고 살던가. 주는.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
자, 뭐가 왔으려나? 무슨 소식이려나?
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
아마 조금은 들어가 있지 않을까?
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the whites survived entirely unmolested.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in
숟가락?
spoons.
Spoons.
Yes, spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
더 이상한데?
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
퀘스트였던 거임 또 이거.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something.
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
가자.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought.
그러면
But
다행이지.
the salivary glands would be
앉아봐.
fine indeed.
귀찮게 앉아봐도 되고.
So, see you later.
벽에 대고
Yes,
침뱉 뱉고.
till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? I thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
좀 대화가 길긴 길었네. 재밌었지만. 오늘은 여기까지 하도록 하겠습니다. 아마 다들 주무시러